Greetings. Thank you for joining me. I know you might be joining as a recording later or live right now. So have you got any questions, Jackie, that I can answer for you? A little meditation as well, but
yeah.
I just thought I'd open it up for people to ask any questions about anything, really. The beginning meditation course or anything else that arises, a bit like, just a casual chat, really.
Yeah. Well, I don't, I'll tell you how I've been feeling. So we're on today, where am I? I think what day is it? The 25th today, isn't it? Yeah. So I'm on, I started this on the 25th of October. I think that's right. And I've been going through each day and how I felt, whether I've got to it or whether I haven't. There wasn't many days where I didn't find the time for it. And even if I didn't feel like it, I came into this room and I sat there and tried to go down. There was a few times I couldn't go into meditation for whatever reasons, lots of things going in my head. Yeah. But I found that once I started chanting on, what is it, on, I mean, I make my own up. I don't always use what I've been listening to. It could be words of what I'm thinking about that day, and I'll chant to those as well. But and with the beads, going down all the beads, I do find, because the chanting I really didn't like. I thought, oh, I can't do that. If I'm in the woods or whatever, people will think I'm mad. But I've got over that now. I'm fine. So I find chanting really takes my mind away from what's going on outside or whatever's happening. And it gives, this might sound a bit odd, but it gives like a vibration in my body. And I feel
exactly that. It's exactly that.
Oh, is that what I'm meant to be feeling? Right, okay. So I feel that vibration and I feel that I'm there. I'm in that space. And it's great. I love it. I really love it. I've even got over the fact of when I do go into the woods, I think, do you know what? It doesn't matter. Wilma comes for the walk with me and we go halfway and we found a beautiful big oak tree. And I find that if I've got a ritual of what I'm going to do just before I'm going to do the meditation, it works better. So my ritual in the woods is to put my back up against the tree and just slide down to the floor. And Wilma knows that it's her time to come and sit in between my legs. And I go down that way. At first I was a bit, because there is people walking past, not loads, but I did feel a bit like, I wonder what I'm doing. And then I thought, oh, it doesn't really matter. And they go by quite quietly. So it's okay. And I find that's my favourite place to do it, definitely.
Yeah.
I find it very difficult indoors. So what I do is, like I do with my yoga, this is my room. And it's like I've got like a shrine here. And I light the candle. I shut the door for maybe 10, 15 minutes before, so the smell, and I make it into an area. And I don't think you've got to have a great big room to do that. Yes, it's yoga time. You don't have to have a big room to do that. I think you can maybe do that anywhere, but I have to be quite quiet. Well, because of Wilma as well, if she hears noises, she starts barking. But I found that this area and going into the woods, which I go into the woods a lot, is my favourite two places to do it. I know not everybody can do that.
Yeah. No, you're right, Jackie. You said several things there. Mantra, loud, does set off a vibration in your body.
Yes.
And it becomes energy medicine. So the words of the mantra have their own energy frequency.
Oh, right.
One of the things that's happening, if you look on YouTube, there's, I think it's called Sometics, and it shows you how vibration and different sounds make different sound waves. And what they do is they set up a kind of a drum-like situation, and they put sand or something like that onto the membrane of the drum, and then they play sounds through it. And as they play sounds through it, it moves into different shapes, like different spiders, webs, and circles and mandalas, depending on the shape. And it's really quite fascinating.
Wow.
And the other thing that you can find is, you know, those singing bowls. If you put some water in the singing bowl and then you start moving the thing around the outside,
that's
you'll find that the water comes up like this because of the vibration. So it gives you an idea. I'll share some links so that you
please. Yeah, that'd be lovely.
see some of these things. But when you see that, it's unequivocal. You can't not see it. And then you realize that it is a vibrational effect that it's having. The other thing that it does is, as you chant, you're moving your tongue into different parts of your mouth. And the Vedic philosophy says that at the roof of your mouth are millions and millions of nerve endings. And so as you touch different parts of your mouth, you're having an effect through your nervous system. So that's another thing that it does. And then, of course, you're regulating your breath, because your mantra is of a certain time and duration. And so your breath is rising and falling in your body. And so that is doing something to your nervous system, which in turn does something to your brain waves. So it's kind of not just one thing that's happening there, it's lots of things that are happening. And then when you've finished, you have a different energy frequency in your body than you did when you started. And when you're disturbed by something, it doesn't have to be a bad thing, but it just could be very much going on in your life, or there's, you know, something that you're thinking about, or there's something that you're chewing over in your mind. You've already got a dominant frequency in your body. So it's hard for your practice to
get in.
So that's all that's happening. There's something that is more dominant that's trying to take the attention of your mind.
And I bet a lot of people, that is the problem for them trying to get into meditation. There's so much going on. But I think once you've gone through the beads and whatever, and you're in that like that sort of thing going on, you can do it. But sometimes they can be a bit too strong, and they're going, no, we're not going to let you do that today.
So it's also about the sensory perception that you've got going on. So the beads help because that's touch. So you're taking a little bit of that distraction and that big frequency that's distracting you, and you're saying, look, we're doing the beads. And so that is trying to pull some of that distraction out of your head and put it into your hands. And then you've got the chant going on. And then, as you know, there's other things you can do, like the smell. You could have essential oils. You could put something on your hand and just keep smelling it. When you're in the woods, you've got the lovely smell of the
it's lovely,
the leaves and the trees, and, you know, whatever's going on in the woods. So you've got this multi-sensory thing going on that tries to take you out of this dominant frequency, which is our mind, because our minds are so powerful. We can go anywhere in our mind. And it's very hard sometimes to cut out that static. So all our meditation tools, including finding a place that you like to meditate in, whether it's your room, which is a good idea, something that you can shut the door. I find I definitely need a door shut, because my family are very good at respecting something. So they'll just open the door and start talking to me. So I have to have a particular space. And, you know, like you say, you've done a great thing by setting up a ritual and maybe lighting a candle, which again is creating a sensory thing.
I just feel like when I do that, it's me saying to myself, this is going to be my time. This
Yeah.
is my time.
Yeah.
And it seems to be about 12 o'clock is a good time for me, because I've done the things in the morning, and it might be a time where I might just have a sit down for a minute.
Yeah,
and I think, right, so I'm going to use that time. It's getting a bit busier now because I'm going into work. I can't do it at night, really, that late. I want to go to sleep at night.
Yeah.
I find that Nanny used to always say to me, "Oh, Jacqueline, when it gets to 7 o'clock, I've had it." And I feel like I'm getting the same. I can go all day, but night times is, you know, I'm better off. I'm better fresh in the day.
Yeah.
And I think it's just finding the time to do it, because our lives are so busy. We think, oh no, I'll go and clean the windows, or I'll go and do something. But it's for us, and I think you've got to do that. Otherwise, everything gets so busy, doesn't it?
It does. It does. And I think what the other thing I heard you say there is that even if you don't really have as much time as some days you have more time than others. So some days you'll do a longer meditation, and some days you'll do a shorter meditation, and some days it doesn't work at all.
Yeah.
And that is the nature of meditation. Some days we haven't got a huge amount of time, but instead of saying, "Oh, I can't do 20 minutes, so I'm not going to bother," go and do 3 minutes.
Yes, absolutely.
Because the 3 minutes is part of this conditioning that you're doing with your nervous system to say, no, this is part of it. This is part of the practice, that it's not perfect every day. It's just like life. You know, life isn't great every single day, but we just turn up, notice what we notice. It doesn't matter if you can't slip into your most favorite rhythm. It's the turning up.
Yeah, absolutely.
To do whatever it is you do, 60 seconds even. You know, just I sometimes sit with a hot coffee, and you can't, as soon as you've made a coffee or a cup of tea or whatever, you can't drink it straight down. It has to cool. And even if it takes just a couple of minutes to be that first sippable moment, just take those moments while you're waiting for your coffee. Or, you know, you arrive at work, you sat in your car, I've got 2 minutes before I've got to be in, right? I'm just going to sit for a minute. I'm just going to look at my breathing, notice what I feel like, notice if my shoulders are up by my ears, take a moment. Breathe, breathe. And even if it's just something as simple as, how do I want to feel at work today? Set an intention for whatever it is you're about to go and do.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Does make sense. But yeah, life just gets too busy, doesn't it? Even though I've retired now, I seem to be busier than ever.
Yeah.
But that's good. I don't want. I mean, I've been doing some singing in the old people's homes, and I see them, and I think, oh gosh, you know, I can't imagine myself sitting there like that. But it's good busy. It's good busy. It makes me feel good, and they feel good, so it's good.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, I know it, you know, we look at that as a possible future, but we've got to remember they're also a generation ahead. And so each generation has its different aspirations and a different kind of sense of what is normal, and also a different sense of, well, 60, 30 years ago, different to 60 now.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And each generation has, you know, my grandmother and maybe your grandmother, it was kind of never wore trousers.
No.
Always had a cotton hanky. Always had their hair permed and go and have a shampoo and set. Well, that's not like it is for someone that's 60 of our generation.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
So each generation, someone has to set the bar somewhere.
Yeah.
And the generations that are coming up behind, they will have a new idea of what 60 looks like, or 50, or whatever it is.
They'll all be Botoxed.
Yeah, well, that's...
we won't know what they look like at 60. Oh my God, be horrific. Yeah, I know. It's quite scary, isn't it? Because looking at them, You know, there was a few people in the one I did the other day, and maybe 5 of them were like quite with it. The rest were just like asleep and whatever. And I think, how long will it take for that 5 to be like how the rest of them were? They've got to be stimulated and moving.
I believe that. Yeah, I believe that, you know, there's got to be some kind of enrichment going on. Otherwise, if you haven't got any reason to get up and get going, you won't get up and get going.
No, and that's quite sad, isn't it? In somewhere like that. So as we're doing our yoga, we're not going to get there.
We're going to delay it as long as possible.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we have to go and do some meditation with them.
Yeah, totally. Well, it sounds good, Jackie. I'm glad that you've got to that point where it's becoming part of something you do, like cleaning your teeth every day.
Yeah, absolutely. It feels like when you explain when we do something, the pathways remember it, what's happening. And I relate back to that quite a lot with a lot of things. It just has to get used to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, you have to go over that pain threshold, so to speak.
Yeah, and then it's just a natural thing that happens, like cleaning your teeth and whatever. But it is getting through that, and I think a lot of people will find they'll get to a stage where, oh, I can't be bothered. But I'm glad I've got over that hill now, and I'm enjoying it. So it's nice. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, and I think for lots of people, meditation can be a stop-start kind of thing, and it was for me for, you know, the longest time. It was just like, oh, I just can't do this. But I had a will to keep trying to do it.
Yeah,
and so it kept bringing me back to it, and now I find it's much easier to slip into that meditative state. And I can do it in lots of places, and my current favorite place where I can do it for ages and ages is on an aeroplane.
Oh wow, really?
It's
so
just
what do you do? Put your headphones on, or
put my headphones on. I don't kind of put my attention anywhere around. I just sit in the seat, and I wake up, well, you know, gauge again.
Yeah.
And I'm like very calm. It's like there's all sorts of crap going on around
the plane. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And you know, you get off the plane and it's all this argy-bargy to get to the passport control, and they're this and they're that, and I'm just kind of going
floating through. Yeah,
it's all okay.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, that should be part of flying, shouldn't it, really?
Yeah, the earphones drop down and you're all meditating.
Yeah, wow. Yeah,
but it's anything, you know, if you're a passenger on a train or a coach, or, you know, in a car, you know, when the driver often puts the radio on and they've got what they want on, and I just think, okay, that's not my thing. We'll put the earphones in and I can just
go down. Yeah, no, they need it on the undergrounds and stuff, because they're horrific, aren't they? Oh my god. Yeah, I could do that sort of
I often think they should play some kind of soothing music through those speakers to get everyone in that kind of
because it's so angry, isn't it? The environment is so angry and pushy and shovey. Oh no, I did it for the week, not for me. No, definitely not. But hey ho.
Well, I'm really glad it's working in that way, Jackie. And, you know, don't get discouraged if you do find that you go for a period of time where you just let it slip. Just pick it back up again, because it's like that reality exists all the time. Whether you're stepping into it or stepping out of it, it's still there.
Yes, yeah.
That is still there.
I think, as you say, I think once it's in your brain, it's like when I first started. I mean, I've been doing yoga now with you 10 years. Can't believe it's 10 years.
I know, it's frightening how the time goes.
The time goes. But the beginning, I would say the first 2 years, the breathing, I just was like, I forgot to breathe. But now it's so natural because you just do it with the breath. But I couldn't get it for a long time, but I'm glad I didn't stop. I just kept carrying on with it. But I think it is, you have to just keep going with it, don't you? It's that sort of thing.
Yeah, there's a kind of, there's something that makes us start certain things.
Yes.
Usually it's a piece of information that we were given and you think, yeah, I want that, whatever that information was. And you actually forget it as you keep going to the thing. You forget why you started in the first place. But if you can stick to it, that's when, you know, it does take time. It took years for me to get into, or to get out of just being a physical practice and getting into a more kind of energetic practice and a kind of a brain stilling and clarifying practice. And I just wasn't interested in that for a long time.
No.
And then, you know, something clicks somewhere along the line and you feel something different. And it's
Absolutely.
when you start feeling something different that it keeps you coming back.
Keep coming back. I used to always do gym work, body pump, all the mental classes. And I tried yoga the first time I ever tried yoga, I was about 33, and I'd just come out of a body pump where it's all really loud music and jumping around. And I went into this yoga class and I thought, wow, nobody's doing anything. They're just rolling all the I can't be in here. And I come out, I couldn't do it. I just felt like it wasn't working. I couldn't see. I was young. I couldn't see what it was actually doing. And then all them years later, then coming to you, and maybe for 2 years, I was thinking, oh, I think I'm doing it right. I forget to breathe and blah, blah, blah. But now I can't imagine not doing it. I can't imagine it because I feel, would my body, does my body ache and stuff still? Yeah, absolutely it does. But what would it be like? Well, my nanny used to say, I take this cod liver oil every day for my arthritis and this, that and the other. She used to take it, in fact, not a spoon, the bottle, she used to put it in a mouth. I said, Nanny, does it work? She said, I don't know, but if I stop, then it could be a lot worse. But I don't, you don't know, but I do know with yoga, yes, if I've not done it, I feel it. So, and when we've done classes, I know that that's helping me, definitely. So,
we know it kind of helps physically, but you can also tell by how did you feel at the beginning of class? So when we start class and we might have the legs up the wall, or we might just be sitting and breathing or whatever we're doing to start the class. It's at that point where you think, okay, how am I feeling today? I'm feeling a bit edgy. I'm feeling a bit distracted. I'm feeling a bit this or that. And then at the end of class, when we're then again still, it's okay, how do you feel now? Oh, I feel great.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and I get the same thing as well. I think, oh, I'm a bit distracted. I can't settle. And then at the end, I think, whoa.
Yeah, that's better.
Nice.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just a pity a lot more people couldn't think like that. Because as they get older, go, oh, I couldn't do that. I'm aching, I'm whatever. But they don't see, it's all in the,
It's all up here.
I always say, that's the hardest place you'll ever work in your life. And
totally. And whatever we tell ourselves, we find information that matches that thought. So if you think yoga is a certain thing, then it's funny, like if you've decided you want a red car of a certain make, you suddenly see them everywhere, don't you? Because
absolutely.
your awareness is opened to a possibility. And so, oh, look, there's one of those, there's one of those.
Yeah.
And you start seeing what it is that you believe that you want or is true or whatever.
Yeah.
And so it's the same thing. Well, if you think that something is going to be good for you, or more importantly, if you think it's going to be bad for you or not work or whatever, then you'll see information that matches that thought. Now, that thought could be wrong.
Yes, absolutely.
But we're getting a lot of information. Oh, see? It's like if you think the world is a hostile place, you'll only notice all the hostile people.
Everything. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is true. Yeah. Oh, gosh. Yeah.
Which brings me on to, unless we've got any more questions or anything else.
No, I don't. No, I think I've sort of said everything on here. My time, what I do it, where I do it, my beads in the woods, and then where I've sort of how I've got on over the time. I think I've done quite well really with it.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think we're good. Oh,
So
good.
I promised a small guided meditation.
Okay.
And we're going to go back into something we did in the meditation course, which is Indra's net, if you remember
Right.
that one. And every time I do it, it's slightly different, but
Right.
the idea is still the same, that the whole of the universe is reflected in each of the little junction points in the net, in the jewel, and the
Right.
jewel reflects. So we're reflected and everyone else is reflected in each jewel.
Right.
And it's that idea of our interconnectedness, that what happens over there somehow affects us here. And we get that in the wider sense when we think of the internet, where because of the internet, us just sitting here in a little corner of Essex, we can receive what's happening anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
We can get a live bulletin of something that's going on in Australia, or, you know, something like Ukraine or Gaza or Israel, or, you know, anything awful, Iceland, America, wherever it is, we can be beamed straight into there and we can have an experience, good or bad, we're feeling right here, because the internet has connected us in a way like Indra's net.
Ah, right, okay.
So Indra's net is a more spiritual version of what the internet is like. And if you see a picture, and I'll try and share pictures of both of those, Indra's net, if you did a Google search for it, is a beautiful thing, like if you think of a spider's web,
Yeah.
that's got heavy blobs of dew on it.
Yeah.
That is like the jewels and the net of Indra's net.
Ah,
And
okay.
as soon as one of those blobs bursts and creates a kind of a vibration, the whole of the net is jangled. The whole of the spider's web. You know, when a fly lands in a spider's web, if you ever watch that happen, the whole of the web.
You get a lot of spiders here. We have beautiful.
And you can see, can't you? The whole of the web begins to move. If one bit breaks, then the web changes shape slightly. And that's how we are in a more spiritual aspect, a more energetic aspect. When something happens over there on the net, on Indra's net, that the visualization is that it's wrapped around the world, wrapped over the universe. So when something happens there, it affects us, even if we're at the very other end of the net.
Right. Okay.
And so what we can do when we meditate on Indra's net is to kind of reinforce our little area, so that the whole net benefits from us putting some energy into our little intersection, where each of us are considered to be a gem, a jewel. And all the reflections in that jewel reflect everything that's out around us.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Yeah, it's a lovely meditation. So let's sit comfortably and find a nice straight spine. And you might feel whatever's touching the floor. So if you're sitting in a chair, your 2 feet touching the floor, your bottom in the seat of the chair, maybe your arms are supported on the arms of the chair. And begin to feel your breath, that gentle rise and fall of your chest. Notice if your shoulders are relaxed. Notice the back of the neck, just where it joins your head, and the sides of your neck feeling equally long. And feel your chin not sticking forward or too far up and down, just in a comfortable place. And we're going to visualize the chest at the breastbone area. And imagine as we breathe that we're beginning to breathe our breath into that space. Feel it expand, feel your belly expand. Feel the back of your body between your shoulder blades. So we're sensing a feeling of drawing breath and energy into the body, holding it there for a few moments and then letting it move out of the body. So with your next breath, imagine that you're breathing into the space of your heart, breathing into the heart where a little light exists. And each inward breath makes that light a little brighter. Like a candle flame, we're bringing energy into that light, that flame at our heart. And as that flame grows, as the light expands, we fill our own body, our own space. Feel or imagine the light of that candle flame filling your heart, maybe filling up and down into your body until your body feels full of radiating light. So much light that as you exhale, you can allow some of that light to move out from your heart in a forward direction. So with your next exhale, allow the light, like a golden thread of light. You might imagine a spider's web or a beautiful net. And that light is moving forward. With your next exhale, imagine the same coming out from the back of your heart. An exhale that takes light out as far as you can imagine. And that might just feel like a couple of feet. It might feel like it's moving into an infinite space. With your next exhale, feel it moving out from your heart, maybe through your shoulder out easterly or westerly direction. And the same with the next exhale, in the other direction. Each inhale, we're filling our body with light. We're receiving light. And as we exhale, we're sending that light out in all directions. Until there's so much light moving out that we come across an intersection in the net where our light intersects with the light of another jewel, another gem. And so the energy builds and it's sent out again until it intersects with another gem or jewel. And again and again. You could imagine each jewel just flaring with a little extra light as our energy intersects further and further out in all directions. Let's imagine this net where each jewel is flaring with a little extra light, gradually moves out across the earth until bit by bit begins to join all around the earth, a beautiful golden net of sparkling light. And each time we come into this space to add our light to the net, we contribute to that golden net of light. Imagine a jewel that's not shining quite so brightly, receiving the light that you're sending out. And equally, when you're feeling that you're not shining so brightly, you can begin this meditation and receive light before you give out light. Inhale, we receive the light. And with our exhale, we send any surplus back out into the net. Begin to bring your awareness back into your physical body and notice the seat of your chair. Whatever part of your body is touching the floor. Bring your awareness back into your spine. Imagine your energy is now running up and down the length of your spine. Inhaling from the base, drawing energy upwards. Exhaling, allowing the energy to drop back down to your base. Feel your awareness that was spread out beyond your body, coming back into the whole of your physical body, so that you can feel a breath that breathes you into the inside perimeter of your body. You can begin to feel your shoulders, your arms, your fingers, your side seams, the whole of your physical body. And when you feel as if you're back in your physical body, you can feel that solidness. You can feel the perimeter. Gently allow a little crack of light to come into your eyes. Your eyes looking downwards, perhaps. And then as it feels appropriate, open your eyes a little more until you've taken in more of your surroundings. Until you feel you're back in the room.
I'm back. That was a really nice place. Very nice. You've recorded that, haven't you?
Yes, I have. And it doesn't have to take long. It can be a little shorter than that, because once you get used to connecting to that net, you just kind of find yourself at that junction point. You receive energy until you feel you've got a little surplus that you can then start to give it back out again. And then it's a kind of a giving and receiving, kind of this reciprocal feeding the whole of the net, but also receiving from it. And
back again.
That
was nice. Sort of, in my imagination, I was lighting the lights, the little gems in the web. But one or two of them, I didn't quite give them enough, so I give them a bit more. It was really good. I was really in it. Really good.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. I love that one.
Yeah.
It's a good visualization, and it doesn't necessarily have to take too long, but you could be there a long time just feeling that good receiving.
Lovely.
And conjuring a sense of gratitude, which is kind of medicinal for our world right now.
Oh, yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, lovely. Thank you. That was really nice.
That's my pleasure. That's my pleasure. So have you any other questions, or are we
No, good? I don't think so. No, I think I've said everything. Yeah, no.
Good.
Yeah. I hope everyone else has got what I've got from it, because I've really enjoyed it. So thank you.
Yeah. Well, I'll put it out on YouTube, and I'll send the recording in an email. So I think lots of people will join us energetically.
Yeah.
The recording.
Yeah, hope so. Yeah, really good. Yeah. Okay, Jocelyn, I will get on with my day.
Yes.
And
thanks so much for joining me, Jackie.
Thank you.
And
right, let's see if I can. Yeah, I'll see you on Wednesday.
Yeah, have a good day.
Okay. Yeah, see you, my love. Bye-bye.